When you're looking at the scenario manager's output, you have different NPVs, and then you are going to incorporate all the probabilities here, okay, from 10%, 20 to 40, to the different NPVs. Before doing that, you can clear your table a little bit by deleting the additional columns and additional rows. For example, column A is not really necessary, so I delete it. Okay, and the same with another column right here. And for column row one and row two, I don't think I need that. Okay, and yeah, so I have a clear view. And then even for the current value, this column is not that necessary because I have the base case in the middle already, and they just did the same numbers. So I delete the current case. Okay, and then I'm going to create another row. It's called a probability, and the percentage here is 10 for worst, 20 for below average, 40 for base, 20 for above average, and 10 for best. Okay, and then we work on the expected return, or the expected NPV. I'm sorry, expected NPV, and it is the summation of all the NPV, each of the NPV under each of the case times its probability. Okay, that's for worst case. Then you do another multiplication for the below average case. Then you do another one for base case. Do another one for above average, so on and so forth. However, this is not something I want to do. Okay, I don't want to keep typing and clicking 10 times. This is what I want to do. I want to use one Excel formula, which is a summation, and this time I'm going to multiply two vector of numbers. The first vector is the NPVs multiplied by the second vector of a probability, and then the product will be merged together as the sum total. This is the formula I'm going to put in there, and the thing is, to complete, if you just hit enter, this is not actually the right answer. If you just hit enter, it's not the right answer. So once you are editing this formula, I want you to hit Control Shift Enter. Okay, Control Shift Enter. This is your right answer, 464,000. That's your right answer. You get this number by clicking on, once again, Control plus Shift plus Enter. Okay, Control plus Shift plus Enter, and that's how you finish this calculation. All right, and to get the standard deviation of NPV, I have to say it is a bit more complicated than using a financial calculator. Okay, but it's not that hard. The first step you're gonna do is to get a deviation of each NPV from the expected value. So the first NPV is the negative 985,000 minus the expected NPV. All right, so that's its deviation from the average. And I'm going to drag it all the way to the right. So I will lock in the subtractor, which is the expected NPV, because every other NPV will be subtracted by the same expected NPV, as you can tell. Okay, they're all subtracted by the expected NPV. And then follow the mathematical formula. I'm going to get a square deviation. So that means I'm going to take the square of each of the deviation. Well, that gives me a very super big number, and I'm going to just use a general way to denote the number, and then that's what I got. Okay, and the square deviation basically is dollar squared. It doesn't have any mathematical sense. It doesn't have any financial sense. It's just a mathematical figure. Okay, then the next step is to get a product, or let me put this way, squared deviation times probability. Okay, just times probability. So this is going to be squared deviation, okay, times 10% probability. All right, and that's how the probability is incorporated in the risk level. And then you can get the variance and that's the summation of all of these 5 products. Okay, and then the standard deviation, finally we are reaching that standard deviation of NPV. It is the square root, okay, equals square root, okay, SQRT of the variance. Okay, and this is a dollar figure we're looking for. That's the risk level of this project. Okay, or you can get standard deviation in another way, which combines all these 4 steps together. So this is square root of the variance, and how to get the variance? It's a sum of the square deviation. Each is the NPV minus the expected NPV. Of course, I'm going to log the expected NPV. All right, and then this will be take the square root. I'm sorry, this will be squared, not 6 square root. Then multiplied by the probabilities. Okay, multiplied by the probabilities, and this should be the NPVs, all the NPVs. Okay, and then the sum actually include them all. Okay, so if you put everything here in one single formula, it's like that. I do not expect you to be able to do this on yourself, but if you want to do it, if you want to shrink all these steps in one Excel formula, okay, that's how you do it. Then don't forget Control Shift Enter, because you are doing vector multiplications, right? Oops, something is wrong. Okay, yeah. So because I just type in an additional parenthesis right here, but that's minor. That's very minor. The Excel just automatically correct for me, so you get the same answer. All right, so that's how you compute the standard deviation and expected NPV.